just gonna have a little play with my internet just to make sure that, like, my router's literally in the house just here, so, but just so that my connection doesn't freak out completely. Hi everybody, welcome to Indigo Sky Vlogs, welcome to Indigo Sky Holistic, wherever you're watching this and whenever you're watching this. I'm here with the new moon in Cancer, which is always a good time to start new things, set new intentions. Anyone who's followed me for a while will know that I'm a big season follower as opposed to Gregorian calendar follower. I'm not a big fan of old Gregory's calendar. And I'm starting something with great intention to have a play with creating new content, primarily for my YouTube channel, so you're more than likely watching this on YouTube, but also new content that will be on my other social media platforms to support the people out there who feel drawn and called and attracted to what I share and what I say. I hope you can hear me. I'm sat on my doorstep. On some of the Throwback Thursday videos I'll be sharing in coming weeks and months, you'll see lots of my doorstep musings. My doorstep is a place where I feel very reflective and thoughtful, and it's where I've shared many musings over the years. I have on an old YouTube channel, which I'll be transferring over here in the Throwback Thursday posts, a whole set of doorstep musings from 2021, I think, which is it just is a place where I can shut the door on the family and muse. So today's theme, the Wednesday theme for the foreseeable future, is well-being. Well-being Wednesday will be the theme, and it is Wednesday. It is the new moon, and I thought the thoughts that I've been reflecting on recently as I've navigated life's interesting scenarios and situations is self-talk. And the theme of this video is like, what were the last words that you said to yourself? And fortunately, I've just been in the shower with some feel-good music on, having those vibes in, like, going in, and my subconscious reprogramming soundtrack that I listen to as well, my own words, subconscious affirmations that I've recorded and put some music over the top of. So my last thoughts to myself were all pretty good, not bad. But that's kind of what brings me to why it's in the mind. For most of us, we have lots of conditioning and lots of thoughts that were put upon us by other people, by family growing up, by teachers, by religious leaders and instructors, or other authority figures in our lives growing up. Anybody, like, leaders of groups that we may have been part of as children, and just society at large, the way that things have been not really conscious in how we believed children responded and reacted to what was said to them. And that's where most of our self-talk comes from, it's childhood. And we speak to ourselves in ways that we would never ever dream of speaking to a friend, even if we wanted to call a friend out on something, or even if we wanted to ask a friend a question, or dive a little bit deeper into what's going on for a friend. They're in a relationship and we see red flags and we want to bring that up to them. We would always approach mostly anyway, approach a friend, if it's a friend, in a much different way than we often speak to ourselves. Yet we spend 24 hours a day, 365 days a year with ourselves. We're in our own heads. We are our own soulmate and best friend, or we should be. And yet the words that we speak to ourselves can be so unfriendly, unkind, uncaring, and we take those thoughts with us then into our next action and into our next activity and on into the day. And this was definitely my pattern, my story. I would beat myself up over not being good enough at anything, and that was my conditioning. That was literally how I'd been raised, to believe that I was never ever going to be good enough for anything. I was definitely not good enough for God. I was not very good at behaving as was expected of me, as a boisterous, loud, vivacious little girl. It's hard to believe, but yes, that's what I was. I just letting the noisy truck go up the road. And that they were the words that I then took into my life. I took those words off with me into my everyday life as I grew. When you're a child and you think you're never going to be good enough for God, and that God is this all-powerful, almighty being who's going to strike you down for not being good enough, then you take that with you. You take that with you into adulthood, and you're like, yeah, I'm not good enough. So nothing I do is ever good enough. And these are the words that you then repeat to yourself when you have a challenge, when you lose a job, when you fail at an interview, when you miss the mark on something, when you have a relationship breakdown, when you experience something in life that knocks you back. They're the words that follow you. Well, if you'd have been a little bit smarter at that, you'd have got a bit further. Well, yeah, if you'd have knew what you were talking about there, you'd have got that job, you'd have got that position, you'd have got that promotion. If you were good enough at doing what you do, you'd get paid for it, you'd get bookings in, you'd get this, you'd get that, and all of that, it continues to feed the subconscious. And everything's connected. Everything within our whole mind, body and spirit is connected. So when we talk these negative words to ourselves, we literally put that into our reality. So we'll attract to ourselves people who show us that that's the case. Yeah, you are like a little piece of something that I walked in on the street, because that's what you're saying to yourself. Because we create from our heart field, we create from what we're feeling in here, we create from our emotional processing, and we create from the things that we've thought in our heads, because everything is energy, and we put that out there and it's reflected back to us, and we're with ourselves 24/7. 365 days a year. You are always with yourself. And I know not everybody has this monologue in their head, or even dialogue. It's definitely not a monologue in my head. There's definitely 2 or 3 many voices in there. When we're with ourselves, and the thoughts that filter through our brain are less than kind, it's impacting our whole well-being. It's impacting our ability to think, well, okay, should I bother doing this live stream today because I'm not very good at it? Or should I bother creating this piece of art today because I can't draw? Should I set this new biz idea into the world because nobody's going to be interested in what I have to offer. When those are the words that we have in our head, that's the thoughts that we put into our reality. And when it's really, really deep, like shadowy thoughts that we have, like, you know, you're rubbish, you're a loser, you're a failure, or you're unattractive, you're not pretty enough, you're too big, too fat, too skinny. That was actually one that was fed to me for many years, is that I was actually too thin. And yeah, that can impact later on other thoughts and feelings around size and image, body image. So yeah, all of these thoughts. What was the last thing that you said to yourself? What was the last feeling that you had about yourself? What were the last words you said to a friend about yourself? You know, oh, I did this really stupid thing today. And then, you know, we can do that. We can certainly do that. But what's the energy behind why we say it? Are we then going to just go, that's because I'm a complete failure and I'm a complete idiot and I'm stupid and this, or, you know, are we making light-hearted fun of ourselves? Because there is a possibility and openness for, you know, having a little bit of a laugh at, like, you know, I just put the milk in the cupboard and the sugar in the fridge. Like, you know, I know that my head was not here. Like, there's a way to do that without belittling and demeaning every part of ourselves. Like, it's inherently, like we're inherently, there's something inherently wrong with us. And a lot of the time, when we start to talk down to ourselves, we may blame other things, like the moon, like the stars, like our neurodiversity. We start blaming those other things, like that's like there's something wrong with any of that. And all of that's working perfectly. Our neurodiverse brains are working perfectly. They're working exactly as they should do. Society's told us they're broken. The moon, the sun, the stars are working exactly as they are supposed to. But something in here, or something that we have been told, makes us catch on to the shadow aspects of those things. And those things are all actually guiding us and leading us into our best and fullest potential. But we don't know that because that was hidden from us. Those things, that energy, the energy of the sun, the energy of the moon, the energy of the stars, the energy of the cosmos, the energy of ourselves, is all leading us to our fullest potential. It's all opening us up to our highest frequency and abilities and vibrations. It's creating new earth frequencies. But nobody told us that. And all that we've been doing for decades usually is thinking the worst, fearing the worst, and telling ourselves the worst. So practice it. Every time you think something that's shadowy and dark about yourself, flip it on its head. Find a way to flip it on its head. This is conscious practice. It takes conscious thought and conscious practice to do this. It's not just something that we can automatically turn on. Usually, maybe people can in the right circumstances, but most of us, it takes practice and conscious effort to do so. Action. And that can be, like, I'm a big believer and share often in programs, processes, and with clients that I have, you know, set alarms in your phone to bring you back to the present moment and be like, oh, I need to just be a little bit more consciously aware of my thoughts and feelings for a moment or two. Stretch it into a minute or two. Stretch it into quarter of an hour periods where you're like, high vibe, high frequency. Be who you came here to be. Be who you are meant to be. Play with life at being the best version of yourself. 5 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute of holding that, you know, I am fucking awesome at what I do. I am amazing. Everything is working out for me. Everything is carrying on for me. Everything is absolutely supporting me. The sun, the moon, the stars, the energy, my neurodiverse brain is all working out for me. It's all doing exactly what it should to make me the best version of myself. I hold that frequency for a minute or two, 15, and you can stretch it then into longer and longer. But it starts with the thoughts in your head, the words that come out of your mouth. Because even if you don't have like a monologue or dialogue in your head, the words that come out of your mouth when you speak about yourself. And I would think everybody does that at some point, speaks about their actions, the things that they've done, and how or what are those words that you say to yourself. Big yourself up to yourself and then to others. And if that's really, really hard and you really struggle with that, then my top tip is EFT. Like, that's the way that I process the really shitty words that I may say to myself when I'm really, really deep and dark and dreary, is through EFT. Start tapping the tapping points. I'm switching hands, and that hand that I'm holding my phone in is dead. Start tapping the tapping points. You know, even though I think I'm a complete idiot and I'm really stupid and I'm really foolish and I've done really stupid things, I'm a complete idiot and just put the milk in the cupboard and the sugar in the fridge. I feel like a complete dumbass. But I still can love myself. I can still know that I'm good enough. I can still feel better about myself because at least I noticed and didn't come back to sour milk 3 hours later in the like 30-degree heat we've been having. Not quite that today. And I choose to love myself in body, mind and spirit. Quick tapping round. And that's how we start to reprogram those words and those thoughts. So our default thought when we do something that's a little bit silly is like, oh, look at me, I'm silly. So one of the things my daughters tend to use and phrase about things that people do and then themselves is, oh, I did a silly. You did a silly. And when you do a silly, it's much more fun and playful than when you treat yourself like you're a complete failure for putting something in the wrong place, or making a mistake or forgetting something. Treat yourself with fun and laughter and joy. Be silly. Be silly. It's okay to be silly. Like, you know, I've got a husband who does things like that deliberately because he's a silly. He used to put teddy bears in the fridge because he's a silly. He's scared of them. But, like, be silly. And accept that. Like, you know, that's part of who you are. And that's okay. And, yeah, if you want some support and help with EFT, jump on one of my groups, because it's a really, really gentle way to process those deep emotions that make you feel shit, and can lighten you up very quickly into feeling so much better. What do you think about that? And tell me, what was the last thing that you said about yourself to yourself or to somebody else? And if it wasn't great, can you flip the script and turn it into a positive? Let me know your thoughts. And it would be amazing if you are watching this on YouTube, if you would give me a little thumbs up and hit that little red button. Is it red or is it white? I don't know. It's white. Is it white now? Hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in another video very soon.